There's one individual who caped for Trump, could not secure an attorney, is still locked up. Only one who has been indicted by the Fulton County DA, still in jail. Put up the picture, full mass. All right. You see the crew. This is considered, at least in prosecutorial theory, a criminal enterprise. Thus, the RICO Act applies. Out of that, you have one black male who was the director for Black Voices for Trump. Here he is, full mass. That guy spoke directly to a judge during his first appearance. Here's what he had to say.
I've spoken with several different attorneys before flying out here. Their cost is typically between $40,000 to $100,000 just to retain a lawyer for these charges, and then they charge hourly that I cannot afford. I'm not going to put my family in that kind of debt, especially with my daughter. I cannot afford an attorney for something like this.
Okay. Well, Scott McAfee, Judge McAfee will go through the process. If you choose to represent yourself and to not retain a lawyer, he will go through that process and those questions with you. I just want to advise you of your right at this point that if you wish to hire a lawyer, you have the right to do so, okay?
Put up the picture of Mr. Floyd again. Sir, I'm disappointed. I don't agree with the decisions you've made in your life, but at least honor your craft. The point of being a sellout is to get money. You are broke, incarcerated, a Trump supporter inside of the Fulton County damn jail. This is not working out well for you. D.L. Hughley actually reposted this with the words, "Keep on using me until you use me up." Black Voices for Trump was a propaganda trick meant to dissuade individuals from actually looking at policy. They hired this person, they coordinated with this person for the purpose of tricking Black people. They had no policy agenda for African Americans in this country. They had absolutely no substance in their policy platform. They were simply propaganda machines created by the Trump campaign. Now, if you're willing to do that, at least one would assume you have a friend or two who would provide some level of support in the process of your prosecution. But I have to say, I find it ironic that out of everyone who has been indicted, out of everyone who has had to be booked, he is the only one still inside of that jail and the only one who cannot afford an attorney and the only one who has no bond. All right, let's go to it. No arguments were heard during this first appearance for or against bond. That will be left to a yet unscheduled full hearing before Judge Scott McAfee. The judge you saw was the fill-in judge for that day. Judge McAfee is overseeing the RICO case involving Mr. Floyd, Donald Trump, and 17 other co-defendants. Speaking to the judge without representation, unusual in a first appearance proceeding, Floyd disagreed he was a flight risk. I got on the plane, I voluntarily came here. I am already here on federal pretrial supervision. I will explain that in a moment. He said, referring to a case from earlier this year in which he is charged with assaulting an FBI agent who was serving him a subpoena for a federal grand jury in Washington, D.C. Quote, had no issues on being on pretrial supervision. There is no way I'm a flight risk. I showed up here before the president was here. Okay? Now, let's go back to what the rules are. Number one, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your perspective, charges can be used in weighing your flight risk or not. Yes, depending on the severity of charges that you may have in another jurisdiction, a judge may say, you're facing a lot, we may have an issue with you. Number one. Number two, the fact that he did not take advantage of what was offered to every defendant, which was the ability to pre-negotiate your bond, is quite telling. Possibly because he couldn't afford an attorney. Well, in that case, sir, I would have at least advocated for myself for a pre-trial or a pre-turn-in bond. According to the prosecution and your silence on the matter, you did not do so. There's more. He's also known as Willie Lewis Floyd III, okay? He served as director of Black Voices for Trump and is accused of recruiting Stephen Lee to arrange a meeting with election worker Ruby Freeman and Chicago-based publicist Trevion Cuddy. So in the theory of the prosecution, he was involved, an active member in securing other people who partook in this alleged conspiracy scheme. Sir, you need to count the ways here. You're a black male. You work for white male bigots intentionally. You're inside of the Fulton County Jail. You don't have an attorney. You currently don't have a bond. And a lot of this is already being placed on you as the narrative. I mean, the way they laid it out, dear brother, it's like you're the damn mastermind, sir. All right. Sharon, thoughts here?
Yeah, it's as if you read the filing that he forced them into it almost,
right.
You know? He's a mastermind and he kind of strong-armed him, his alias. I don't really understand anything, but I too am concerned. I hate it when money is held over someone for their freedom. It is ironic. I don't know how many members Blacks for Trump has, or the spinoff N-word for Trump. If they could all put in $10, $20, Dr. Richey, or like you said, negotiate something ahead of time, steal someone's answer. Can't you just, the details were leaking out on other people, steal someone else's answer and say, God, can I negotiate that? But it's problematic. Hustler without any money?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And on my radio show this morning, I said, listen, I will give the guy $500 for a bond attorney.
Now see that?
So, his people just need to get with us. We'll give him the $500. Hopefully he can advocate for himself outside of the Fulton County Jail.